Dancing on ice in Russia this year is going all out. There were changes in dozens of duets, some put their careers on pause, others changed partners, and not just once. This week also caused a sensation. The 2020 Youth Olympic Games champions Irina Kavernyina and Dario Sarazano are splitting up, and the skater has already found a new partner. In the off-season, 4 couples announced the breakup at once. A lot, but not catastrophically. After all, the Olympic cycle is behind us, and Russia was not allowed into international competitions. When, if not now, to try new combinations? And then something went wrong. Not all of the 8 couples who tried to make it to 2023 survived. Elizaveta Pasechnik vs Maxim Nekrasov, Sofia Akatieva vs Andrei Bagin, and Elizaveta Shanyeva vs Pavel Drozd. The rest either finished or again disintegrated. That's what happened to Annabel Morozov and David Narizny, for example. The pair, who were doing quite well in the season, 2 wins in the Russian Grand Prix series, fell apart just before the Russian Championship. Allegedly because their partner did not want to train in the United States. Around the same time it became known about the fight between Narizny and Andrei Bagin. The scuffle happened at the 4th stage of the Grand Prix in Moscow, where David was present as a spectator, and Bagin and Akatieva came second. At the time, it seemed that the skaters might not have shared Morozov. Both are now her ex, after all. But no, according to Sport Express, the conflict between the men happened because of Irina Kavernyina. And that's a separate story that needs attention. The duo of Kavernyina and Dario Sarazano seemed ironclad, winners of the 2020 Junior Olympics, several stages of the Junior Grand Prix, and the Russian Junior Championship, stood apart among the newly formed couples. They had experience of skating together for a long time, and even beat silver medalists of the Russian Championship 2022 Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin. It turned out that the initiator of the breakup was Irina. And later it became clear why. A few days later, Kavernyina was paired with Narizny. Yes, it turned out that skaters are romantically linked, hence the conflict with Bagin in November, and David, according to Sport Express, after breaking up with Morozov did not want to see anyone with his partner except Kavernyina. She was the one who insisted on leaving Sarazano, who was determined to continue working with her partner. Love is evil. Olympic champion Roman Kostomarov remains in a medically induced coma. This was announced by choreographer Maxim Stavisky. We are all rooting for him. I am sure that he will cope, will get out of this difficult situation. There are no global changes in his condition, he remains in a medically induced coma. In some ways there are positive changes, in some ways not. Sometimes we read news from trusted sources about a sharp deterioration in his health, when in fact it is not. Each time it is a blow to his loved ones. Roma and I will ride again, TASS quoted Shchalisky as saying. Recall that Roman was hospitalized at night on January 10. In the morning, the feeling of the Olympic champion worsened and the doctors put him on a ventilator, ECMO, and then put him in an artificial coma. At first, the figure skater lay in the central hospital, then he was transferred to Komunarka. Since then, Kostomarov had not regained consciousness. Sergei Kostomarov, father of Olympic champion figure skater Roman Kostomarov, commented on the recent words of State Duma Deputy Svetlana Zurova about the possible causes of the athlete's illness. Recall, Zurova suggested that Roman Kostomarov could fall ill because he took part in several shows during the New Year holidays and performed in both outdoor and indoor rinks. I read. It's so ridiculous. He spent 4 or 5 shows in the cold. Were without warm clothes, quotes Sergei Kostomarov TV channel 360. January 13. Various media reported that the athlete's body began to turn blue due to sepsis. It was specified that the lungs of the athlete might have been too weak at the time of the disease, so the deterioration occurred so quickly. Sergei Kostomarov also answered the question about his son's condition. Nothing has changed. We are waiting. Still the same, in a stably serious condition. They say he was examined. His head is fine. We hope so, 360 Channel quotes Kostomarov Sr. Figure skater Gleb Smokin congratulated his partner and companion Diana Davis on her birthday on social media. Disaninka, congratulations on your 20th birthday. The most beautiful, radiant, kind and sincere girl. Be the happiest with me, Gleb Smokin wrote. Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin are silver medalists at the Russian Junior Championship, bronze medalists at the Russian Junior Championship and winners of the Russian Junior Cup final. Gleb Smokin is the son of Russian actor Boris Smokin. On January 16, reports surfaced that Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin are thinking about changing their sports citizenship to Israeli. The couple trains in the US and has not competed in any competitions inside Russia this season. In the Federation of Figure Skating of Israel commented on rumors about the possible transition of Russian skaters Diana Davis and Gleb Smokin. We know about the situation with these athletes as much as you do. By the way, our federation does not invite skaters itself. Only if they apply. And we negotiate only with athletes and coaches who have Israeli citizenship, Boris Chait, director of the Figure Skating Federation of Israel, commented on the situation in an interview with Match TV. Davis and Smokin made their adult debut in the 2021-2022 season. At the Russian Championships in St. Petersburg they took second place and were selected for the Russian national team at the World and European Championships, as well as the 2022 Beijing Olympics. At the Continental Championship they were 7th, and in Beijing they took 14th place. Alexandra Trusova, the silver medalist of the 2022 Olympic Games in women's singles skating, published a post on social media. In the photo, the figure skater poses in a swimsuit from Dubai, where she is spending her vacation. Recall, Alexandra Trusova withdrew from the recent Russian championship for medical reasons. The coach of the athlete Svetlana Sokolovskaya reported that the figure skater had a high fever. On October 1, it became known that the 18-year-old Trusova moved from Atari Tutberdz's group to CSKA to coach Svetlana Sokolovskaya, where her boyfriend Mark Kondratyuk trains. The relationship of Alexandra Trusova and Mark Kondratyuk became known after the Olympic Games, 2022 in Beijing. Skaters often post joint photos and spend holidays together. Kamila Valieva, Olympic team champion and winner of the 2022 European Women's Single Skating Championships, explained what figure skating means to her and named the most common myth about her sport. The most common myth about figure skating is that it's a sport for 15-year-old and very skinny girls. For me, figure skating is my life's work, my unconditional love. It made me a famous person, gave me a huge number of meetings with very interesting people and helped me to fulfill some dreams. And in one word, figure skating for me is an art. In figure skating I am inspired by the music and the story I have to tell the audience. And in general, the places, the events, the people around me. I really like the spins, and of the jumps, the quadruple Toeloop. I feel like it's an iconic jump for me. When I first started jumping it, it was a difficult element that gave me a chance to win competitions. Now it's an element that gives me hope of winning again. I began to learn it on the fishing pole, and then I learned it without any devices. Not only my coaches helped me to master it, but also Alexei Erikov, a figure skater who was in Atari Tutberdz's group at that moment. And I did my first quadruple Toeloop on my birthday, Valieva told Blueprint.